So, I've got a little story to tell you. I just want to give a humongous shout out to all my friends out there who are going back to school, especially those who are going back to college. No matter if this is your first or fourth, fifth, sixth, 100th time going to college, I just want to give you a round of applause. This is your time to further your education towards your dream job, and I think that is amazing. College may not be for everyone, but me personally, I like college. Sure, the learning aspect isn't really my strong suit, that's why I'm an arts major. I feel like it's given me an opportunity to meet all sorts of people, as well as meet professors in the field that I'm going into. And my years of going at Daytona State College has been amazing. I think it's just been such a great school for me to go to. It just fits my personality perfectly, fits my major perfectly. My freshman year, I went to a community college in Rochester, New York. Though the college that I went to up in New York was apparently like on the top list of like best community college, whatever, it definitely had its weak points, let's just say that. From expensive parking tickets to a weird counseling system where instead of having guidance counselors, your guidance counselor is a professor, but they don't exactly know what they're doing, so they may sign you up for the wrong classes that you need to transfer to another school to, and then sometimes because they have all that pressure, they are just grumpy professors. And did I mention the expensive parking tickets that have no reason to be there in the first place? But that's just a whole other story. But the real reason that we are all here today is because I'm telling you the story of my crazy dorming experience. Now, I know I'm not the only one to say that the hope is to have like the dream dorming experience. Walk in and have a cool looking dorm, and like you meet your roommate and they're like so much fun, you become best friends, and you guys live happily ever after. That's the dream, right? Well, at least for me, that was my dream. But did my dream come true? No, no it did not. So today I am gonna tell you the story of my 3 crazy roommates of my freshman year. Coincidentally, perfect timing. So our first story starts of the actual move-in day at the college. So we moved everything into my dorm. I was the first one in my dorm. And the dorms there were actually really cool because they were set up like suites. You walked in, there was a kitchen, there was a living room. You walk in a bit more, there's a closet, there was like 2 bathrooms even. In the dorm that I picked, I wanted to have like my own bedroom because, you know, I'm a spoiled rotten brat like that. Right as I finished decorating everything, I hear someone coming through the door. So I go and look and I see the other roommate that comes in. This roommate happens to be crazy roommate number 1. We're gonna call her Mary J. Just trust me on this one. You'll see why in a moment. So Mary moves her stuff in. I help her move her stuff in as well. We ended up, after we move everything in, take a seat. We're talking where we're from, what our majors are, all that fun stuff. And everything was going great. Okay, everything was going fine. My little dream was like feeling like reality until this one thing came out of her mouth.
I don't know how you feel about it, but I just want to let you know that I smoke marijuana like every single day. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I don't have it, I will seriously die. Like, seriously, like I need it every single day. So I don't know how you feel about that. Like, I just want to make sure that like you're really cool with that.
Now I'm gonna stop the story before I get any like judgment on me basically saying like, oh Eva, it's not even a big deal, like everyone does it. Let me just say this. First, it is still illegal. Like, I don't care who does it. At the end of the day, it was still illegal and it was not allowed on property. Secondly, health benefits put aside, I was taught that it was really bad to do it. Mom and Dad and I hadn't really had the talk before they dropped me off on how to deal with this situation in the college world. The only thing that I had to go off of was the DARE program, and the DARE program told me, if you know someone who has drugs, you tell an adult. And so going back to the story, when Mary's asking me if I'm cool with it, of course I did the only thing that I knew how to do. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, it's cool. You're cool. I'm cool. We are awesome. We're great. Everything's great. Yeah, that's that's fantastic. Yeah. Everything is great. But on the inside, I was freaking out. I was like, I have to tell an adult. Where's an adult? Where's an adult? So just out of coincidence, I had to go to the store to get some additional groceries. I thought, okay, I'm just gonna go and tell her that I'm going to the grocery store. And as I go on down, I'm gonna sneak into the dorm counselor's office and tell him what's going on. So that's what I do. I sneak into the dorm counselor's office. Hey, so, my roommate just told me she smokes drugs. She smokes drugs, and I don't know what to do. Oh my, well that's terrible. Well, did she say she had some on her? Okay, well honey, don't worry about it. We will have this under control. So, I left it in their hands, okay? She said she had it under control, okay? So, I went to the grocery store. I did my thing. I came back to my dorm thinking, oh, the situation's gonna be taken care of. She's gonna be gone. Problems are gonna be gone forever. What I walked into instead was 3 cops in my dorm, in her room, searching through all of her stuff. Not only her looking at me with a dirty look, but also our other roommate moved in. She was roommates with her last year and they're friends. And the cherry on top, ready for this? They found nothing. They found nothing. What? So they just basically were like, sorry ma'am, we didn't find anything, darn. I was basically walking into the most awkward situation you could, moving into a dorm on the first day. At this point, most people probably would have like moved out like in an instant into a new dorm, but me, no. I don't know what I was thinking. Somehow I thought it was a better idea just to make men say sorry, start clean on slate. So that's what I did. I apologized and she ended up forgiving me. The other roommate, her and I got along great and everything was kosher. There was no eggshells being stepped on. Everything was good. So I thought. Weird things started happening around the dorm. Things started to disappear. Like food. Food out of my shelf started to disappear. Then my pots and pans, cups, mugs, all that stuff were being used, but like left in the sink, like not even put in the dishwasher, like anything like that. And I did the whole whodunit game. I don't know. So I just was like, you know what? I'm just gonna take all my stuff, put it in my room, and we will leave it at that. Again, you'd think that would be enough for me to be like, you know what? This is just not working out for me. I'm gonna move into a new dorm on property. No, I was still stupid and naive. I promise you the next thing that happened was the last straw. One afternoon, Mary J and I were hanging out in the living room and she was folding clothes. And as she's folding, she pulls out this one shirt. And I'm like, hey, that's interesting. I actually have the same exact tank top. And she just looked at me really weird. Like she wasn't like, oh my gosh, you like totally match. No, she literally looked at me like she'd slightly been caught.
Actually, our roommate got it for me for my birthday last year.
So at first, I was just like, oh, okay. I just kind of gave her one of those things. We kind of just kept talking. But her face looked so weird. Guys, again, even though I had been oblivious up to this point, that was just too much of a hint for me that I couldn't look into. So I thought, just to be safe, before I start accusing anything, let me look in my closet. Okay? So I go into my room, go in my closet, and guess what top I'm missing? That house, the tank top. Not only am I missing that top, but I'm missing a lot of my clothes that I had just bought from like American Eagle, Abercrombie & Fitch. It was just the breaking point. I couldn't take it anymore. I went right downstairs to the dorm counselor and I'm like, listen, this girl has been stealing my stuff. I find out today she stole my clothes from my closet. That's crazy. That's like psychotic stuff. By the way, this is psychotic to me because growing up, I lived in a town where we were so safe and secure that we didn't even lock our doors. Like it was just one of those like very homey, everyone knows your neighbor type towns. So the fact that someone invaded my space and stole something from me was like the most insecure like thing I've ever had at this point happened to me. All sense of security totally left me when this girl came into my space. So I went to the dorm counselor, told her everything that happened, and she just basically said, well, I'm gonna try to find you a new dorm to move into on property. Till then, if you want to try to talk things over with her or whatever you want to do, just let me know. So I go back upstairs and I'm thinking I'm just ready to just go in this girl's room right now and just tell her what's up. But one problem, she's not there. But you know who is there? Is our third roommate. I walk into her room, I knock on the door, and I'm like, hey girl, I gotta talk to you for a second. So I ask her, I'm like, hey, you know Mary better than I do. I think she's stealing my stuff. And I've already talked to the guidance counselor about it and everything, but I just thought I'd ask you. She says that she got this tank supposedly from you for her birthday last year. I just want to ask, is that true? After I asked that question, I found out a few things about Mary in this conversation. Number one, she tells me that no, she did not buy Mary this tank top for her birthday. Secondly, I found out that she's a compulsive liar. Like, she just literally can't help herself. She makes up stories on the spot, like all the time. Like, she's made up stories about fake boyfriend, family drama, you name it, she's done it. Third, people that go to the college, including the roommate that I'm talking to, were terrified of Mary. So terrified because she was cray-cray. And number four, she told me that this girl was after me because of me trying to expose her for having drugs on property. And not only that, but she has basically done this before, like attacking people. So at this point, my mind is so blown. I never thought people like this existed. Like, I thought this was like movie stuff, like how she was acting. But no, this was like real life. And guess who was lucky to have this happen? Me. But at this point, I was so ticked and I was so angry that not only that she was doing this to me, but like she was doing this to other people and she was getting away with it. So you know what? I decided that in my best interest that I was standing up for myself. I wasn't gonna take it anymore. I waited till Mary got back to the dorm, and right when she got back, she closed the door. I walked right into her dorm and caught her right off guard. Hey, I know you have my stuff and you've been lying to me about it. So how about you hand over my stuff right now?
Oh yeah? Well, what are you gonna do about it?
Mary, it's more like, what are you gonna do about it? Because I've actually gone down to the guidance counselor and already told her everything that has happened. So we can do this one of two ways. You can either hand over everything of mine right now, or I can call the dorm counselor and have her and security come up and go through all your stuff all over again to look not only through my stuff, but to maybe come across that stash that you have, that you've been smoking every single day, that makes me so sick that I want to gag my guts out. So you choose what you want to do. So needless to say, I got not only all my clothes back, but she gave me back jewelry and perfume that I also didn't notice that she had taken as well. Not too long later, maybe a day or two later, found out there was a dorm available for me to move into, and I jiggied out of there. So the second dorm, now roommate number 2 starts out where I move my stuff from that dorm and move it on down the hallway to this next dorm. Sure, it was down the hallway, but you know what? I felt a lot safer in this situation than the last one. I knock on the door and roommate number 2 answers the door. I love this cue. Probably my best one yet. So roommate number 2, we're gonna call her Star. So I meet Star, she seems super sweet, and so she shows me around the apartment and shows me my room, put my stuff in my room, all this stuff. Everything's great, okay? There's just one little detail that maybe at first sounds really small, but is very important to this story. Star is a night owl. She only comes out at night. And that doesn't really sound like a big deal because most college kids and teenagers alike are night owls. But Star literally is a night owl. This girl did everything at night. I don't know how she thought college was gonna go, living in a dorm, but she cooked at night, she had friends over at night, she watched TV at night, she played loud music at night, did all of her schoolwork at night, which I don't know how that was. I don't know if she did like only online classes while she was living in the dorm. I don't know the situation, but she did everything at night. though she was sweet in the beginning, I think the toll of her living in a college environment and having people around you be awake during the daytime and actually sleep during the nighttime, I think that kind of made her grumpy. I think one of the worst things though about this was that she also had no comfortable body temperature. And remember, this is in the middle of winter, by the way. We're thinking like mid-November, December-ish time, okay? What she would do is she would either have the gauge either at 65 degrees in the middle of winter, or if she got way too cold from having at 65, she'd turn it all the way to 80. So sleeping during the night was never comfortable. I was either freezing cold or I was opening my window during the winter storms to let in natural AC. For some weird reason, she moved from her dorm bedroom to the living room. To this day, don't really understand why she did that. Doing daily things during the day while she's sleeping was very challenging. I get up, I'm too loud. I shower, don't even think about it. Making coffee, and then just leaving for class. Don't even think about opening the door handle because she cannot sleep. So that was about the last straw. After 4 months of moving into the second dorm, I got permission to move into another dorm across property, which was closer actually to my best friend Amanda and Joe. So that worked out perfectly. Now, this dorm, okay, brought all my stuff in, knock on the door, girl opens the door and she's like, oh, hi, you're our new roommate, welcome. So she welcomes me in. The two other girls that lived there, they're actually, one was from Ireland and one was from England. I found out that all three of those roommates were actually on the same soccer team together. I'm like, okay, cool. I can't stand soccer, but that's great. I think that's awesome that you guys all know each other and you guys have a dorm together, whatever. The first thing I notice is, it's like really nice. There's not like clothes hanging everywhere and like paperwork everywhere. And like, wait a minute, I don't mind a little bit of clutter. It was like sort of nice, like walking in, like things are like nice and clean. And I noted that, I was like, wow, like this place looks really nice. And she's like,
oh, thanks. I have like a cleaning routine for the apartment, so I really appreciate that. I like things a little bit neat around here.
and to me, like, that's great because the last two apartments I've tried doing that with, cleaning routine just wasn't in the cards. We all couldn't agree on a cleaning routine, but she told me that they had a routine already kind of going on. You had to remember, this is like after Christmas break. This is like, I think around spring break. She's just kind of like,
don't worry about it, just kind of clean up after yourself and you'll be good.
so I do that. Clean up my own dishes, you know, whatever. So really, this was like my best situation so far. That was until England and Ireland had some big fight. They moved out of the dorm, which left me and the other roommate, which officially introduces third roommate. Her name shall be Sparkle. Now at first it was fine, but because she told me not to really worry about the whole chore routine, some chores kind of fell off the wayside, which I noticed it. And when I noticed it, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna help out a little bit, rent out vacuum cleaners and whatnot. And I cleaned up a little bit. Like I would do a little bit of vacuuming, do a little bit of dusting, you know, like a little bit here and there. And you'd think, yes, Queen Eva, you are on point, you helped, way to go. Well, apparently to Sparkle, this was not enough. There's a few things I found out about Sparkle, in fact. First of all, I found out that she is an incredible clean freak, which, okay, like, I know people who are clean freaks, so it's okay. People just like things really clean, right? Secondly, she's OCD. Okay, so she has a way of making things clean in a particular order. Okay, I can handle that. Third, and most important, and probably worst of all, she was very passive aggressive. Like probably the worst case I've ever dealt with in my life to this day. If she didn't like the perfect way that you had it to be done, she wanted to take the time and show you like most people would maybe do, but she would like leave her comments on a whiteboard in all caps.
You didn't vacuum the floor right. There was a crumb found in the toaster. You're supposed to take out the trash 3 times a day.
But not only that, folks, but I think probably the thing that really stuck to me was that if I was to do something like, I don't know, for example, if I had like a cup of coffee and like a bowl of cereal, okay, before I go to class. And I'd put it in the sink and think, oh, you know what, I'll be right back. So when I go to class, I'll come back and I'll do a quick load of dishes, right? So I would go to class, I would come back to find the mug and the bowl in front of my door with a note that says, clean your crap. Except we keep it rated PG around here, so I'm not gonna really tell you what the thing said, but you get the point. As much as I would have liked to think I'm just gonna move out again, it was already towards the end of the semester. Not only was that basically pointless at this point because it's almost the end, but who knows, I probably at this point would have run into another crazy roommate, because guess I have a look at that. So really, in the end, I just stuck it out. We had our arguments, I dealt with the notes, but I did it. In fact, actually, I had like the great idea. If I just did takeout for the rest of the semester, I really wouldn't have to worry about the dishes or the messes in the kitchen, because really, besides the trash, I didn't really make the mess because I didn't cook anything. So she can't blame me for anything. I ended up working out because I worked at Tom Wall's, the best burger joint ever, by the way. And I brought home food from work anyways, so that worked out perfectly. Thank you, Jesus. And I think because of that awesome plan, she couldn't take the fact that most of the messes weren't me. She ended up moving out of the dorm 2 weeks early anyways, so I had the dorm to myself. Before I move out, cleaned up my room and moved out on my own. So with all that said, my first year of college was not the greatest. On top of the other drama with like classes that happened and so on and so forth. But that's for another video possibly. But as you know on this channel, I like to leave everything on a positive note. After leaving that community college and moving down here to Florida, yes, I enjoyed my experience down here at Daytona State. It was like honestly the greatest college I could have gone to after that whole hot mess up there. But they don't have dorms here. I was lucky enough to live with my parents and have a drama-free environment from other girls. I kind of wanted a second chance of a real dorm experience. When Joy and I did the Disney College program, we actually had dorms, and I had the opportunity to have 7 other girls as roommates. So there's 8 of us total. But you'd think this would be the topic of this video. You'd think that's a hot mess in itself. But really, actually, it wasn't bad at all. Like, we all had like the same objective. We all want to work at Disney. We all love Disney. We were all a bit older too, so we were a little bit more mature at that point as well. And yeah, you know, it wasn't perfect. You know, then we had a little bit here and there. Of course, you have 8 girls. Like, what else do you think is gonna happen? I feel like God will not give you a situation that you can't handle. And maybe He gave me that situation for my freshman year, gave that to me, and that strengthened me so that when I did the college program, any little situation was able to be fixed, because I've had worse. So, question for you, my friends. Do you have a crazy dorm experience, or what was your college dorm experience like? Leave me those comments down below and I would love to read them. Also, make sure to like this video if it was your jam, as well as share to all your friends who may need a little bit of encouragement of a crazy roommate experience. I'm glad to give it to them. I just wanted to say to all my freshmen out there, don't be scared. You know, you're gonna fly through this year with flying colors, and you're gonna rock this year. And you know what? I will see you when I'm looking at you. Alright, bye guys!